It's been said that vehicles have their own personalities. I certainly believe that all 7 of mine have their own personalities, but for firefighters, they get to accept, so to speak, the personality of any given fire engine. After all, they spend a lot of time with them and often anxious moments. So retiring one can be a somewhat emotional event. The Freeland Fire Department did that last night, and the retired engine had been around a long time.
This evening we're retiring a 1974 FWD Seagrave 1,000-gallon per minute pump. It's going to be sadly missed. It's a piece of history in the Freeland Fire Department. Served us very well, served the community very well, and it's just sad to see it go.
Engine number 53 was quite important and saw a lot of action over the years.
At one time, it used to be the first out piece for all calls. Till recently, it was the first due piece in Freeland Borough for all structure fires, and it always was reliable.
Pal Whitehead was the fire chief at the time it was bought.
We had a very good president of our council at that time. Myers, his name was, and he helped us get all the paperwork done and get all the money together and got council behind him to go get this particular piece of equipment.
He's referring to Danny Myers Sr., who was the council president back in 1974. Cost was $76,000, which back then was a pretty hefty sum. Remember, you could get a Lincoln Continental Mark IV for about $7,000 back then. Now, Whitehead said when the engine got into town, there was a reception waiting for both the guys and the engine.
When they came in, they were all smiles. We had half the town right here in this area to greet them coming in. And I think it started down at the red light, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Because both sides of the sidewalk, they were full, and everybody's so happy to see them coming back. They were gone, 3 days to bring it back in, and they brought it back in one piece.
But getting it back here wasn't as easy as it sounds.
Came from Clintonville, Wisconsin at the Seagraves plant. Some of our past chief officers and other members of the department drove it home from Clintonville, Wisconsin. They had some problems leaving the plant with blown tires and that they had to have repaired on the road, but they made the trip.
John Taliho was one of the guys who went to Wisconsin to pick it up. He says the drive home was memorable.
It was a rough trip coming home, you know, especially with nothing in it, no water in it, nothing, and you're bouncing all over the road because there's no weight on that thing.
But that wasn't the only thing that made it memorable.
Yeah, well, we were about 50 miles outside of the plant coming towards Chicago when we blew our first tire. Stopped, got road service, got another tire put on, went back to the factory. In the meantime, we had another one that started to peel, and before it was over with, we ended up with 2 coming in here that were already peeled off.
It's not so much they were defective tires.
Tires were not over-the-road tires. They were more or less, how would you call it, mud and snows for like the strippings and that. They weren't made for over the road, not on the highways.
Oops. Anyway, he says the manufacturer Firestone replaced the tires under warranty, and old engine number 53 has been in service for the last 36 years. Stepanski tells me there's nothing wrong with the truck mechanically, though a problem popped up with the pumper, which is why it's being retired, and it's already been replaced.
It's being replaced by a 2010 KME, 2,000-gallon per minute pump. It'll be able to fit 6 members to ride out on the piece.
It will be engine number 56 and will be delivered soon. Old engine number 53 is off to suburban Lancaster, where the fire apparatus collector who bought it lives. Here's hope the trip to Lancaster is a little less memorable than the one from Wisconsin to here. L.A. Tyrone, WYLN's late edition.